Hey everyone, it's BJ
and Patrick,
and we're here talking about what's happening in the world of real estate, especially here on Vancouver Island. And today we want to talk about the proposed flipping tax. And we don't have all the particulars and details. It's not, it hasn't been rolled out in detail yet, but maybe we can talk about a little bit about what they're talking about in general.
Yeah.
And what that looks like.
So BC got a new premier. I think he's all sworn in now or this week, right?
Okay.
And he's got a whole bunch of housing platform changes that are going to be coming. One of them is a flipping tax. Now, this flipping tax would be applicable to people who own a home for less than 2 years, with exemptions, of course, if it's a divorce, an employment change, disability, and death. But it's supposed to, what do I want to say? I don't want to say punish, but tax people who are flipping homes quickly for a profit. So that's all what that is.
Sure.
So if the quicker you do it, so within that 2 year time frame,
right,
the tax would be, so we don't have too much information about this, but if you do it really quickly, you would be taxed at the highest rate, and as the 2 years goes by, it eventually drops down to less and less and less, and then finally zero after 2 years.
Okay.
So what do you think about that?
Well, to me, and I recall hearing something about how they're thinking this is going to curb the escalation of house prices.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, number one, our housing issues and the prices are not from speculators. The housing price issue has to do with supply and demand, not speculators. That people do that, sure, but can to say yes, this is the cause of the issue? No, I don't think that's correct. What do you think?
I think the government can keep blaming everybody else and not. Yeah, exactly. It's supply and demand. Places like Vancouver, Toronto, Victoria, places that are very desirable to go to, especially with this. Let's say with COVID, a lot more people can work remotely and live in different places. They're not. Right. They're not tied to their proximity to their workplace anymore, right?
Right.
So there's some more freedom of movement happening. So to say this is going to solve housing prices in these major areas and solve affordability is just a fantasy, right?
Yeah.
They keep blaming foreign buyers. People have too many homes, so Vancouver's got their own vacancy tax, right?
Right.
On top of the BC speculation tax. So it just, they keep trying to make policies to address it, but they're always trying to address the symptoms and not the cause.
Sure. Yeah. And I would agree with that, because I think, you have to get back to, the inventory, right? That if you're going to, I get the cost of things and so forth, and for construction, and that's part of the equation. But I don't think requiring. I don't know that this is going to make somebody decide to sell their home. Number one, if they have it as an investment property, and I don't know necessarily that. If you're buying this property to flip it, let's say, okay, I'll wait 2 years then. I'll rent it out. Like, why would you not do that?
Maybe you change your approach to flipping houses. You rent it out, and then once it's been rented for a while, and the tenants, there's a bit more wear and tear on it, and then maybe there's some tax advantages around repairing the property,
right,
and renewing that housing stock and bringing it back to the market to be available, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think this undermines people's incentive to try that.
Sure.
To try to make money flipping a house.
Right. And the other thing I would say too is, you know, they're going to have to identify then what. Let's say I bought a home and I decide it doesn't work for me, doesn't work for my family. We've lived in it for a year. This is just not working for us.
Yeah.
Now you're going to penalize me to sell this and buy another home that is a better fit for my family.
Oh, in case you change your mind.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, I really needed that extra room. Oh, we're having another kid.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
I need my mom's gonna move in with us. Now we need a new house, but we just bought this house.
right.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Well, we'll see what the policy ends up saying, but like so far, none of those exemptions are included.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, oh, you know what the funny thing is? Like, so David Eby, he wants to do a sweeping change for single family homes to be able to have like a single family home unit to be able to have 3 units. Of course, we don't have any details. What is the minimum size? But you basically, in theory, if they approve this, every single family home becomes like something that you could turn into a duplex or triplex. Victoria's on the same boat. They want to have like this missing middle initiative.
Right.
Right? It's like, oh, wait a minute. Now all of our properties that are single family houses have latent value. They have more opportunity to make money on them.
Right.
But now you have to sit on it for 2 years.
Right.
So you're not penalized because they artificially made your property worth more. Does that make sense? That might be, you know. Now I don't know if that's going to go through.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Sure.
any of these policies, but it seems like there's conflicting ideas happening at the same time. Right?
Yeah, and I think again, like we said, the flipping tax or proposed flipping tax is not going to address the issues in terms of availability and affordability. Right? It's going to put some more money in the government coffers, maybe.
I suppose it will.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Speculation taxes, property transfer taxes, especially in the last 2 years, they must have collected huge amounts of money from the property transfer tax.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think this is going to solve anything. I think it's going to put some, you know, potentially add some tax dollars to the government, and it's going to add some levels of, you know, bureaucracy that are required to do a sale for certain people in that situation. If you know, if you get transferred, what then? Job wise, if you get transferred,
I think job wise will be an exception.
Is that an okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes sense. I think that's an easy one for exemption.
Right.
But that's going to happen.
Sure. And to me, the one is I move into the home. I've lived here for a year, and now we need to move because, you know, like you said, maybe parents are coming to live with us. Maybe we're going to have another child, or this is just not working. The house is too big. The house is too small. We moved into a condo. I'm not a condo, you know, person or family. We need to move to something else.
Right, but maybe, so let's say it's a flat market, and now you're going to have this tax on top, and you didn't intend to stay. Yeah, let's say you didn't happen to like or enjoy wherever you chose to live. Like, actually the commute is horrible. Like, this is too stressful. The commute's bad. I need to move closer into town, or I'm not a condo person. I can't live with all these other people making rules.
Right.
I got to get out of here.
Right.
But now, because let's say the market is flat and the prices haven't changed for a while, you can't sell. You'd be underwater. Like, you wouldn't break even if you sold. So, like, is there still a tax, or is it only on a profit? Right?
Yeah. I mean, I just think there's so much potential for things to go sideways on something like this. And again, and I think you said it, is you may try and treat a symptom, but you still haven't gotten to the root of the problem, which is affordable housing. And I think a big part of that is make it easier for builders and developers to do what they need to do. And that's got to do with taxation. That's got to do with the process of getting approvals from municipalities, and you know.
And next year we're gonna have to all the residential building code has to meet to a step 3 code, which is a higher code to make the property more, what is it, like not net zero, but however, like more environmentally friendly.
Right.
So talking to builders throughout the year, I don't have exact numbers because price of materials is changing up and down. Like this past 2 years, it's been wild swings.
Yeah.
But they're saying like it's going to add a cost to the end product that's going to be transferred to the buyer.
Sure.
So it's like, well, now you made it more expensive to have a finished product, and now next year we're gonna have more expensive new homes. So how is that in line with affordable housing?
Affordable housing.
Let alone cutting red tape and making things quicker.
Right.
I think that's going to be really difficult to happen when municipalities' budgets are probably dependent on a lot of development permits or building permit revenue.
Sure.
That's a whole other subject.
I mean, that's
right?
like we've only got, we're just about out of time today, but that's another conversation for another day.
We'll
for sure.
save that for another time.
Yeah, because there's a lot to that for sure. So, it's interesting. It's a moving target a little bit because we don't have the details on everything yet, but
we'll bring that to you as they come in the new year.
Yeah.
Right? Because none of these changes are happening right away. This is all the Premier's just getting sworn in now, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see how long it takes before any legislation happens. But probably midway through next year, we're going to start seeing some of these policies implemented.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're out of time, and we're going to be back with more regular content. So please like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about anything that we talk about, or maybe you'd like some questions answered, please feel free to comment, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. And if you have any questions about your home, give us a call.
Yeah, we'd be happy to help you, and we'll see you in the next video.
See ya.